when the sub imploded, it probably happened so quickly that the people inside weren't even aware of it. And this was something the Navy found out, or at least talked about, when we lost 2 nuclear submarines, Thresher and Scorpion, which also imploded at depths, and that the transmission of your nerve, and I'm not a doctor, but basically knowing that you're dying or dead happens so slowly compared to what biological dying, that your brain doesn't even receive the message in time. You're already biologically dead. So you're really not aware of it. It's not only dying instantly, it's dying almost without you're even being aware of it. You're gone.
I suppose in all of this tragedy, that is, it's better to hear that it would be a quick death than the horrible, insufferable death that we were all imagining could have been happening as the air ran out. I want to play something that Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate and who was piloting this submersible, what he said to a YouTuber who took this trip. He talked about how he wanted history to remember him, admitting that he broke some rules when he built the submersible. Let's listen to it together. I want to ask you after we listen.
I'd like to be remembered as an innovator. I think it was General MacArthur said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." And I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me. The carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did. It's picking the rules that you break that are the ones that will add value to others and add value to society. And that really, to me, is about innovation. It's not invention. Innovation is when you take an invention and you make it, accepted broadly. And maybe think of ocean exploration the way everybody thinks of space exploration. Because this is where we're going to find the strange new life forms. And the future of mankind is underwater. It's not on Mars. We're not going to have a base on Mars or the moon. We'll try, we'll waste a lot of money. We will have a base underwater.
Captain, he mentions I broke some rules, carbon fiber and titanium. That's a rule, you don't do that. Is this the end of that kind of design? Or is this perhaps an accident that will improve design for the future?
Well, in my view, it's probably the end of that direction using that kind of material and that kind of process to build a pressure hull. It's been tried over the years. There have been several instances where unmanned deep water devices have been fabricated out of the wound filament or fibers. And there is even the British company Slingsby in 1978, I believe, built a fairly shallow depth manned submersible out of a fiber type hull structure. Probably not the same, because I think what OceanGate used was a very strong, probably carbon fiber material, because they were working with Boeing. And of course, every time you fly in a 787, you're in an airplane that's made out of these kinds of fibers. So I think I think it's a line of evolution that's not worth pursuing. That's not to say you might not try it. There's a lot of engineers doing it. Our big objection, I've talked about it with you before, is not that he was doing experimental stuff, but that he was taking members of the public on an experimental device. And he is, the waiver you signed, he freely admits it. I mean, people signed on, paid their money, and took their chances. He was lucky for 2 seasons on Titanic, and this 3rd season, one died. Not lucky.
Yeah, I think there were something like 46 or 49, successful missions in the last 2 years, or at least in the data, 2021 and 2022. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.